morning. Good morning. It's 7:03 on this Wednesday, June 24th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome a Wednesday morning. We're glad to have you with us. It's a nice day, a nice thing going for us. It's going to be a wonderful Wednesday, and we're on the air for Cedarstone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. Bob McDonald is doing a commercial by phone this morning, and he is here and ready to go. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's great to be with you. Thanks for letting me join you by phone today.
Well, we're glad to, and let me tell everybody, of course, you're president and CEO and been that for quite some time. I guess that was your title in the beginning, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I was talking with a person yesterday. We had a new customer who moved into town from California, and I met with him in our national office with Robert yesterday, and I was telling him about the bank he was asking, and I told him how we were 16 years old in April, and I tell you what, that's a long time, but it sure has gone quickly, and it sure has been a lot of fun.
Well, no doubt it has, and we all grow a little older in 16 years and look a little bit different. You don't look hardly as young as you did 16 years ago, but all that working out you're doing the best you can.
Well, Susan and I are fighting off that age thing as best we can, but that's okay. Every gray hair I have, I feel like I've deserved it. So they're kind of like, they're kind of like battle scars,
I guess so.
But I can tell you, you haven't changed one bit. You've not changed one bit, Coleman. You're ageless.
Well, I have. I beg to differ a little, but maybe it's not too noticeable to some people.
Yeah.
How about that?
All that clean living you've been doing, right?
Let's talk banking this morning. How are things?
Yeah. Well, things are going really good, and I want to say the reason I've been joining you by phone so much here recently is not because of social distancing, but just that there's just been some meetings I've had on Wednesday mornings that I've not been able to get rescheduled. But thanks for letting me join you. And we've never really during all the COVID-19 and the pandemic when all that started back in March. I mean, we've maintained pretty much a regular schedule there at the bank, and our lobbies were closed for a few weeks, but we still let people in, and if they needed to access their safe deposit box or get a notary, but we remain fully staffed and fully functional, and Susan and I have maintained an active schedule both for the bank and then personally, so we've not really been quarantined or that type of thing. And we were talking off air. Our Rotary Club met yesterday for the first time. We had a great turnout. We met over in the cafeteria at Coleman University, and we had a great program and had a great turnout. So just glad to see things start getting back to normal.
Well, no doubt there are some businesses that have really taken a hit here, and some. I don't think this is a good thing, but there are some people who have benefited from drawing unemployment plus the government subsidy, and they were in some situations maybe even making more money staying at home than they were working, and that's not a good thing in my opinion. No,
it's not. It's incenting not the right behavior for sure. And you had a guest on one day last week, Coleman. I can't remember who it was, but he made a good comment about how fortunate we are here in Wilson County with our business climate and with our government. I think they were talking about a budget that was passed either through the city or through the county and did not include a tax increase.
Mm-hmm.
And we are so fortunate. I mean, we've got customers in our national office who are facing a 30 or 33% tax increase. And these are the same people and the same businesses who've been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 and the pandemic, and businesses being closed and people not having their jobs, and restaurants not being fully operational, and hair salons and fitness centers. I mean, Nashville is still experiencing that. And when you cross over the county line, Coleman, you go into businesses, you see what a difference it is in Davidson County versus here in Wilson County. So we do have a lot to be thankful for. And I tell you another thing, I've been talking to you a lot recently about just traffic on the road, and we're seeing increased traffic in Lebanon and Mount Juliet, and construction trucks, and then you cross over that county line on Highway 70, you go into Hermitage. When I go into that office, I mean, it's a big difference and just a lot less activity. And so we have a lot to be thankful for here in Wilson County with our business climate and with our government.
Yeah, and you know, people who have that free checking account at Cedarstone Bank have a lot to be thankful for, too.
There we go. Good segue. That's my cue for I've got 1 minute.
Yeah.
Talk about that. I mentioned a new customer in our Nashville office who I met with yesterday. He moved here from California, and he does a lot of travel around the country. And he was excited to learn that his ATM card, he lives over in East Nashville, and he was delighted to know that when he uses his ATM card, if he's in somewhere in Nashville, not near our branch, or if he's traveling back to California, or he goes to Texas a lot, he was happy to know that he would not have any ATM charges when he uses other ATMs. So we do still have that, the free ATM card, free checks, and he was also glad about all of our electronic features like online banking. He was glad to know that he could do his banking online or by telephone. So it's a great account, Coleman. It's free, and for your listeners who don't have one, it'd be our pleasure to talk to them about that account.
All right. Today would be a good day to open one. Bob, thanks so much for being with us. We'll do it again next Wednesday.
Thank you, Coleman. Have a nice day.
All right. Bob McDonald, President, CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. 10:30 after the hour. And this morning, my guest is Rick Bell, who is a candidate for Lebanon mayor, and he is paying for the opportunity to be with us this morning. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's always great to be here.
Well, it's always great to have a guest, and if it's a paying guest, I guess it's even that much better.
I guess so.
But we say that to say that you are paying for the time, and of course you're here to promote your candidacy for mayor. And we haven't discussed an agenda, but it's whatever you want to talk about this morning. But I guess I could start out saying, how is your campaign going at this time?
It's going great, Coleman. You know, this week is an important week. We picked up petitions on Monday, and so getting those signed, and that's always a big step. On to making your candidacy official.
Does it take 25 qualified signatures?
It does. Takes 25 signatures, but you'd like to get more than that.
Oh yeah, in case there's a fallacy somewhere.
Just to make sure. And so that's a big time for us, and it's a sign that the campaign is moving right along.
What's been the reaction from people when they find out? And of course, you've announced sometime this campaign started early, I think, and is moving in earnest even now. And we're talking about some people even confuse it with the August election. The election's not till November.
The election is November 3rd, the same day as the presidential election. Early voting starts October 14th. And some people said it started early, but I wanted to get the announcement out. For months, when I'm out in town, people would ask me, "Are you running for mayor?" And I want everybody.
Yeah, the rumors had been going for a while.
So I want everybody to know, and I felt like that announcement was appropriate to make sure it got out there and let everybody know, and not only to let them know, but so I can talk to them about the future of Lebanon, so they can talk to me, and that's one of the things I think is important. Last time I was out here, Coleman, you asked me, why am I running for mayor?
Yeah,
and my answer was that Lebanon is at a crossroads, I believe, and I think I bring some attributes to the office that can put us on a positive path. And one of those attributes is communication, being able to talk with citizens and talk with council, employees of the city, regional and state leaders. One of the things that I've learned is that other cities face the same opportunities and challenges that we do. So we can bounce ideas off each other about how to approach things. But another part of communication is listening. And that's one of the things I've been doing for the past few months, listening to people, what their concerns are about the future of Lebanon, their ideas about what we can do in the future to make sure it's positive. and that's a really important part of the process.
Is growth one of the things you hear a lot about?
I do, and growth is very important. And one of my focuses in the campaign is smart growth. We're in a growing region, and I know now, obviously with COVID, things have been altered, but I believe that growth will return. I really do, and we have to be prepared for that. And to be prepared for that, we have to plan, and not just make plans or work on plans, but implement them. And I'll give you an example. For the past few years, I've been on the Comprehensive Plan Committee. This is a group of citizens who are working on the future land use plan. The future land use plan, which guides the city council and guides potential developers as to what types of developments go in certain places. And that plan hasn't been updated in years. So we're working on that. And as I said, we've been working on it for the past few years. We had a meeting yesterday, and it's not finished yet. And in that meeting, I brought up some questions and some ideas and concerns that we discussed. But there was one word that the city planner said that I thought was very important, and that word was awkward. And what was awkward is there is a controversial rezoning that's coming up in front of city council. It's out on Taylor Peeler Road. There's a lot of people upset about it. And what he said was, if this plan was already in place, this could guide the city council, but it's not in place yet. And that's what makes the situation awkward. And I really believe that, that in the mayor's office, that person needs to push to make sure these things are completed so growth doesn't get ahead of us. Because if growth gets ahead of us, it's too late. We have to plan ahead. And that's a big part of my campaign, and, smart growth. But, smart growth is not just making sure the right things go in the right places. It's also making sure that we have the infrastructure in place to take care of it. And infrastructure obviously means roads, but it also means like the water system. I was talking to a lady yesterday that lives on Cherokee Drive, and there are some homes being built on Hickory Ridge Road, and she told me that she's concerned that since those homes are being built, her water pressure has dropped. So was that water system set up for that? I didn't know the answer, but I want to find out that answer. We have to be ready, and smart growth, smart planning is making sure that development's going the right places, making sure the infrastructure is there, but also what I think is important is protecting our established neighborhoods. When I was on city council, there was a development trying to come into Blair Lane. A neighborhood's been there a long time. My grandfather actually developed that neighborhood years ago, and it's a nice neighborhood. It has been for a long time, a very high quality neighborhood. And a developer is wanting to come in and put in a high density neighborhood right in the middle of it. We fought it under my leadership, the city council. We pushed it back. We didn't let it happen. But we have to protect our established neighborhoods, and that's all part of smart growth and planning.
All right, Rick Bell is with us, candidate for mayor, and we'll take a break here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:18. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. A little bit of fog out here in certain areas, but for the most part, it's starting to burn off. Traffic's starting to build out here. I-40 through Mount Juliet going westbound. Harding Place near I-24 on an accident getting some attention. Still working a minor wreck. 24 east between Bell Road and Hickory Hollow Parkway in that construction zone. Again, the heaviest flow is coming westbound from Rutherford County, not eastbound. A Bar's Music City Soul Food is now open behind that Bank of America on Nolensville Pike at OHB. Log on to barsmusiccitysoulfood.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
My name is John Hunn, and I've spent 17 of my 57 years in Wilson County. All 4 of my children are Lebanon High School grads. Lexus and I care deeply about public education, and that's why I support my friend Larry Tomlinson. I'm so thankful that he's been a voice for all students, regardless of where they live or their economic status. I'm also thankful as well that he's always been available to discuss education topics reasonably and rationally. He has a proven record that speaks for itself. I hope you will vote for my friend, Larry Tomlinson.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry Tomlinson, Kathy Adams, Treasurer.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and our thanks to Rick Bell for being here this morning. He is paying for the opportunity to be here and talk about his candidacy for mayor. We always are telling people this program is LSU, live, spontaneous, and unrehearsed. And we have not rehearsed this morning. As I said, you're paying for the time, but yes. You talked about smart growth and that maybe the top of your list for priorities.
Well, there are really four main parts to my platform, and one of those is financial responsibility. Last year, Mayor Ash raised our property taxes 41%. Bob McDonald just mentioned in his ad that Nashville just raised theirs 34%, and everybody talked about how terrible that was. Well, last year we had a 41% increase. And I really believe we need better management than that. I know during Mayor Ash's first budget, he asked for a lot of new revenue streams. I was on city council then. We agreed to all those. And then halfway through the budget, they were asking for increased revenue streams. So, that made me think there was a spending problem, actually. And so I really believe that government, when it sets a budget, it needs to stay inside that budget. And the 41% tax increase, I believe was a result of management issues. But also, they're working on a budget right now too for this year, and I think that's going through the voting process. And that's a status quo budget. And when I hear the word status quo, that to me that means the same as last year. Yeah. But the problem with that is that in the situation we're in, we can't really predict what revenues are going to come in, especially with sales taxes. So far they've come in good, but we don't know what's going to happen next. So, status quo to me seems, I really believe they should look at more cuts just in preparation of potential revenue losses in the upcoming months. I told you once before out here that in the situation we're in now, I think we should hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Financially, but it seems like with a status quo budget, we're hoping for the best and planning for the best at the same time, and I just don't think that's the smart way to do that.
I think somebody might answer that and say, well, we can make cuts into the year, which maybe we could. How about that?
Well, that's probably true. I mean, obviously you can do things anytime you want, but I know going through the budget process, the city council, there's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of things to go through. And it just seems to me that when you're going through the budget process, that's the time to do it. Maybe later, if things are looking better, you might be able to add a capital project or two, but I just really believe that when you have everybody together working on it, you have your department heads working on their budgets, that's the time to do it.
If you're a mayor, what kind of relationship would you have with the department heads, and especially when they are submitting their budget? And I mean, are you going to be really working closely with them, kind of going over it line by line and that kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely, because that's a really important part of the mayor's job is the budget. The mayor presents the budget every year, and obviously the department heads, they present their different areas. And I think what needs to happen is the mayor, the finance director, the department heads sit down, go over that. Let the finance director, what his projections are, what he thinks this is going to cause, and I don't think it should be just carte blanche. Say, okay, department head, whatever you say, that's what we're going to do. You really need to dig into it and say, okay, do we really need this thing now, or do we really need to do that now? Maybe we do. But maybe we don't. And there needs to be some negotiations in there because the department heads work for the mayor. And so I really think it needs to be a team effort between them and the mayor to work on their budgets to make sure it's something that's not only good for for them, but also good for the citizens and for their pocketbooks as well. One of the things that that I will do as mayor is that if a department head comes in like during the year, okay, there's not a budget process going on, and they say, we need this. We didn't know we needed it before, but we need it now. Instead of saying, okay, that sounds good, take it to council, I want to talk to them about it. I want to ask them, why do we need this? Why is this important? Talk to the finance director. What will this do to our budget in the future? Is this something we need to do now, or is this something we can put off to later? I think those are important questions the mayor needs to ask.
You're going to depend quite a bit on your finance director for input, for direction even.
Well, I believe a good leader surrounds himself with smart people, and there are smart people working there now. And a good leader listens to those people, takes their ideas, and obviously the leader has to make the ultimate decision. And that's one of the things I said earlier about listening. You listen to your department heads, and you take that information and you make an educated decision. One person doesn't know everything. And that's one of the things I've learned in my job as a professor is you make educated decisions. As long as the decision is educated based on the best information you possibly have, then you can go with it. But you need to listen to your finance director. You need to listen to your police chief, your fire chief, your public works director. All those people, they're experts in their fields. And they come to the mayor with all kinds of different ideas, but it needs to be a team effort. Everybody needs to work together. But ultimately, the mayor has to make the ultimate decision.
And sometimes you've got, I think, you've got department heads maybe competing a little bit, and who can get the bigger increase, or who finds more favor with the leadership here.
Well, that's in any job. That's in any business, and I do see the city government as a business, and it should operate like that. But that's when the management of people comes in. It's like a coach of a team. I know you have your Vanderbilt mask with you today, and you're a big Vanderbilt fan. I'm not. I'm a Tennessee fan. But the coaches for both those schools, they manage their team, they manage their coaches, and that's what the mayor is for a city. He's a coach. He's a leader. And so yes, there's competition, and that's going to happen. But the leader has to manage that. And sometimes they have to tell the department head, look, I know this is what you want now, but we just can't do it right now. But if they didn't work for the betterment of their department, then they're not doing their job either. That's their job. But it's the mayor's job to take all the information in and make a decision.
We got 2.5 minutes. Time has flown by. Anything else from your notes, or that you want to tell us before you leave today?
There's other parts of my platform that I think are important. Quality of life is really important. Growing up here, Lebanon has been a great place, but that's not guaranteed for the future. And we need to plan to make sure that the future citizens of Lebanon have the same experiences we had, growing up here. And, quality of life encompasses a lot of areas that I can't cover in 2 minutes, but it's a lot. Some people, want more shopping and places to eat. Some people want more recreational areas. And when we talk about recreation, a lot of times we focus on kids, and that's important, but we need recreation for all ages, for everybody who lives in the city. I think one thing that's important is making the city look good, making sure our public areas are well maintained and mowed, and just, that provides an aesthetic that I think is important. But also important is Lebanon's identity. Lebanon has always been a small town. Obviously, it's growing, but we need to keep that small town feel and that small town charm, I guess you could say, and take advantage of that, and take advantage of the opportunities that come with growth, but make sure we stay away from the challenges.
You didn't mention senior citizens.
Well, I said all ages, and and when I said all ages, I meant senior citizens. But that's important. It really is. I think greenways are important. But another thing is sidewalks. Make sure we have sidewalks that people can navigate, that are flat, that aren't uprooted by trees. And when I go to work, I drive down Spring Street, right there in the middle of town, and there are people walking in the middle of the road. And because there's no sidewalk, and I think that would help, senior citizens. A lot of people live in neighborhoods to be able to get out and walk and feel safe. Making sure our senior citizen center stays active too. I know that's important to you. You win all the cornhole games out there, but that's a great part of our city, and I'd like to see that expand.
Well, we've got 1 minute left here. The election, of course, is November 3rd, coincided with the presidential election. Qualifying just opened up.
It did.
Have you turned in your petition?
I have not. I'm still working on that. I'm going to go out this afternoon and work on that a lot. Before we go, though, I do want to add one more thing, Coleman, is I want to listen to people. I want people to call me, communicate with me. My email is rickbellfrommayor@outlook.com. But I'm going to do something I'm not sure if anybody's done on your show before. I'm going to give out my cell phone number. And if people want to call me, they can. It's 615-598-8900. If you have any questions, any ideas, please call me.
8,900. I remember from calling you yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd you get an 89?
When I went to get my phone, they said, what number you want? I said, well, that one looks good. So they gave it to me.
8,900. That's the last 4 digits. Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next time, whenever that is, whenever you're ready to pay for another one, I guess.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Rick Bell, candidate for mayor, and he's paid for the time this morning. And that is part one of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:30. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and get $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's still moving along fairly decent out here on 24 as you come up past Harding Place. Now, the big delay's been 24 eastbound at the 16-mile marker out there in Montgomery County from that earlier crash. 440 eastbound near Hillsborough Pike, checking on the crash and that construction as they move that wreck there on Harding Place just up from I-24. Hey, if your glasses are always fogging up, the answer is Zipwax Anti-Fog Cleaner. Voted one of the best products under $20. Log on to zipwaxantifogcleaner.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staplers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Today's forecast calls for a mix of sun and clouds with a few stray showers. Highs this afternoon top out in the mid-80s. For Thursday, skies will be mostly sunny with less humid conditions as well. Temperatures on Thursday top out in the upper 80s. By Friday, a few pop-up showers are in the forecast. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Company, thank you for joining us, and welcome to part 2 here on a Wednesday. Phil Featherly is here. He's here nearly every Wednesday, and we talk about Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main in Lebanon, where their phone number is one of the most important things he wants to push, and that is 615-443-RENT, R-E-N-T. Good morning.
Morning, Coleman.
A little rain that I think has blessed us.
Yeah, we needed a little rain. It's beginning to get dry. The ground was beginning to get real hard, so we've got a little rain now.
A little, and I guess some got more than others, but it's just enough to keep the grass green, and that's good.
Exactly.
And how are you?
We're doing great. We've been very blessed, very busy. So we're just looking forward to being able to serve everybody. And like you said earlier, you give us a call. It's very important that you call. That way we can ask the questions, and we're making sure we're going to get the right piece of equipment for your job and be able to reserve it. I know you've mentioned our website several times, absoluterental.com. Mm-hmm. And, it clearly says on the website, this is not making reservations and all that stuff, but we still have people that think that if they click on and look, then they've made a reservation. So we do encourage everybody to give us a call. The website's great to be able to see all the equipment we have and the prices that are there for a half day, week, so forth. But we do encourage people to give us a call.
Well, the thing about it is you almost have to have the website, and it's got its place, but it's not there to reserve, and you got a really good reason for that. Mm-hmm. You're so busy, and you got you have a lot of equipment, but you only have so many wallpaper steamers. You only have so many bulldozers.
Exactly, yeah. And it was we're in a situation right now with a piece of equipment. The previous customers had it for a week. We have reservations for this coming week, and now all of a sudden the guy who's got it says, "Man, I'm gonna need this another week." And you're like, oh no, all these reservations, and you can't really take it away from the guy who needs to finish his job. But on the same hand, you've got these other guys who have reserved it. So there's a lot of calling and kind of massaging and trying to make it work for everybody.
What, if you make this one work, we can call you Solomon.
I don't know. Yeah, but we do run into that. And like I say, and we want to take care of both customers. Yeah. We understand that one customer needs to finish his job, but on the same hand, we also understand this guy had a reservation for it. Yeah. And so we've got a little system worked out to try to prioritize that. But like I say, it is a little bit of a juggling deal to try to make sure we get everybody taken care of.
Well, I guess it just shows how much you care. I mean, you're concerned about both here.
Exactly.
I think that's good. You could just say, "Well, your time's up. We're going to let the other fellow have it."
Exactly, and we don't want that. Like I say, we want to try to take care of both people as good as we can. But anyway, like I say, that's why we always say call. Let us know if you've got a piece of equipment and you see you're going to need it longer. Call and let us know then. And that way we can kind of start moving these other people around, that type of deal. So, but like I said, we've been extremely blessed. There's no real hot item right now. It's not like a seed and aeration time or anything like that. But, I've said several times, all our concrete sealers and products like that are very active right now. It's a great time to be able to do that. So they're I like this time of season because, like you said, it's not any particular item. It's the whole gamut. Everybody's needing a little bit of everything.
And a lot of people do home improvement, that kind of thing. This time of year maybe need something bigger than just a step ladder. You got lifts.
Exactly. We have all kind of lifts. We have scaffolding. We have lots of different types of scaffolding, and that's been a very hot item lately. We've been low on our scaffolding supply just because we've had so much out. But anyway, there again, people are doing home improvements, getting up, needing to paint, getting up to put light fixtures up, so forth. So like I said, we've been blessed, and the whole inventory is being utilized right now.
Well, you do have a great location here, and of course you share your location with Absolute Kubota, but it's two separate businesses. They're kind of under one roof, and especially in one location.
Exactly. And
you really got a good thing going.
It really does. It works out great, and like anything else, we're a little tight on space at times, but the synergy between the two companies and the customer base is the same, so it's really a good deal for both companies and for the customers as well.
Somebody might come in there and rent something and buy one of them zero-turn mowers at the
literally
same time.
It happens weekly. Somebody will come in and one or the other come in to buy a tractor, and before you know it, they're over here renting a Bobcat, or they're renting a Bobcat and buy a tractor. So it really does work out well.
Well, you kind of bore with a big auger, I think. But let's see, I wrote it 19 years.
19 years,
19 years you've been in the rental business.
Yep, enjoy it. Every morning when I wake up, I can't wait to get down there, and so it's been
two sons in the business with you.
Yep, both sons are working with me right now, so that's working out great.
Elijah and Joshua.
That's right.
I did write it down, but at least I can read it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Anything before you go?
No, just like I say, feel free if you got any kind of project coming up, give us a call, and One thing we talk about often is our delivery. That's a very big asset to our company. A lot of people don't have the proper size trucks to haul it, and a lot of times it's just a convenience factor. So give us a call. We'll be glad to bring it out to you and come pick it up when you're done.
All right, all of this and more waiting for you at Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main. Philip Etherly and all the people at 615-443-RENT. See you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we are 21 and a half before the hour. We have been doing political interviews, or interviews with political candidates, I guess I should say, school board candidates primarily. And we have another one with us today. And this is, I didn't bring my note here, but Lauren Smith, and it's Zone 1, I believe. Okay, I got that right. Lauren Smith, Zone 1. We welcome you to our program. And the election, of course, is August the 6th, and early voting is going to start July 17th, I believe it is. And you want to represent Zone 1. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Anything in your background, what you're doing now, your situation that you'd like people to know about you as they select a Zone 1 candidate.
Yes, I am Lauren Smith, and I am running for Wilson County School Board Zone 1. I've always lived in Wilson County. With my husband, we live, work, and worship right in Mount Juliet with our two sons. Our oldest son is a 2020 graduate this year, and our youngest will begin 5th grade in the fall. Our oldest son graduated last week, actually part of the Wilson County School graduations, and he's enlisted in the Air Force, so we're getting ready to also see him go off. So we're really excited about that next chapter. I have a master's degree in public service and a bachelor's degree in business marketing from Cumberland University. I am also an alumnus from Mount Juliet High School. I am the current executive director at Caris Health Center in Mount Juliet. That is a local nonprofit that provides primary health care to those that don't have health insurance. And before I was in public health, I spent some time with Wilson County CASA, being the child advocate, where I got to meet the fabulous Miss MJ Lucas behind us.
Why are you running for this school board seat?
Why am I running? I am running because I have spent my whole life, my career in public service, serving families that are what we would consider the most vulnerable. I believe that I've improved their lives, whether it be in public health or child advocacy. And I want to continue that. I want to continue that to where all the students in Wilson County to improve their lives and their opportunities for education and to be successful in the community. I also believe that the Lord calls us to serve one another, and I'm prepared to serve all the students in Wilson County.
There are 4 people, the incumbent, and 3 challengers. You being one of the 3 challengers here. What do you consider some of the main issues that the voters in this zone should consider when they choose their next school board representative?
Some of the biggest issues we face today are the issues that have arisen from the year of 2020. Some of the biggest issues we face moving forward as school board members are going to be conversations around reopening of schools while we can keep students and faculty safe for the long term. We are going to address digital inclusion issues to make sure that students are not left behind because they don't have the tools to be successful for online learning instruments. And then an issue that is never going to go away because it is public education is just sustainable funding. We're going to always have to have new ideas around keeping the schools fully funded and that they support our growth.
Usually, let's say somebody throws their hat in the ring, and the incumbent still chooses to run. They think that they can either do a better job or that they have some issues that don't approve of maybe of the incumbent. Anything you think that hasn't been done should have been done, or any necessarily criticisms you have of the incumbent?
I don't ever like to criticize individuals. I think, especially in public service, we do the best that we can with the knowledge that we have at the time. I do believe in Zone 1. I finally decided to run because there was opportunity for another school board member to come in and be a great school board member for our community. I believe that our community deserves great school board members, members that they can trust, that they can rely on, that are accountable. I believe, especially in Zone 1, we've seen a lot of people move into the zone that are new, so they don't necessarily favor the current seated representative or even feel that he is best representing our community. And I do believe that I am a good reflection of Zone 1 in Wilson County as a whole.
I have heard that there's some issues regarding Lakeview School. Do you have some ideas for improvement there?
I'm going to assume you're talking about maybe the infrastructure around Lakeview School.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Lakeview School is one of the last schools in Wilson County to be approved for the makeover, if you will, the upgrade of the facility. Up to this point, Lakeview Elementary School has relied solely on its PTO, which has done a phenomenal job at fundraising to get the much needed items that the school needed so that the students could thrive in an up-to-date environment, whether it be with new water fountains or new bathrooms or gym floor or even computers. Those things were all funded through the PTO at Lakeview Elementary School. We also want to keep in mind that Lakeview Elementary School ranks highest in some of the test scores in the state. So we want to give them the opportunities to be as successful as they can be. And most of the time that comes down to making sure that they have everything they need, and that is funding.
Are you on board and okay with the location and the new high school, Green Hill High School?
Absolutely. I love the location of the new Green Hill High School. I was actually able to be part of the inaugural flag raising ceremony. My youngest son is a Cub Scout, so his troop got to raise the flag last week, and that was very exciting to see the children and the community really rally around the new high school being there because it is close to our homes. It is where our children are going to spend their afternoons. It's where even if you don't have students there, you're going to want to go to a football game. And I think it is a good location. I think we want to have our schools in the heart of our community, and that's exactly where Green Hills High School is.
All right, it is time for us to take a break. Lauren Smith is with us, candidate for School Board Zone 1. We've got a lot more to talk about after this break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:45, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota and Rental. They've got Red Max, complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning, THB. Just wrapping up the paperwork on that nasty crash we had earlier over in Montgomery County, slowing everybody down coming from Clarksville on 24 eastbound up around the 16-mile marker. There's a crash being cleared in the construction 440 eastbound between Hillsboro Pike and Franklin Pike. A Bar's Music City Soul Food is now open behind the Bank of America on Nolensville Pike at OHB. Check them out online first at barsmusiccitysoulfood.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Bob McDonough with Cedar Stone Bank. We know there are times when financial circumstances can be complicated for families and businesses, but we do not believe the solutions need to be. That's why for 15 years we've been delivering simple banking to our customers while still offering all services and products. We're thankful for our customers and the communities that we serve. If you don't bank with us, it would be our pleasure to visit with you and talk about how simple banking is simply better.
Cedar Stone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You make plans for just about everything for the weekend, for a shopping trip, for your daughter's wedding, but do you have a financial strategy for the rest of your life? Now may be the perfect time to do it. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC. 212-314-4600. Member FINRA SIPC. We continue here on this Wednesday morning, and if you're just joining us, welcome, of course. Lauren Smith, candidate for School Board Zone 1, is with us. You are the third of the three challengers that we have talked to, and the incumbent, Mr. McNeese, will be with us tomorrow. As far as the quality education, quality of our education program here, are you basically satisfied with the the product itself, the education that youngsters are getting in our schools, pre-K through 12.
I am very proud of, as you described, the product that we can turn in Wilson County schools. I believe that our students are only going to be successful as adult citizens if they develop skill sets and capacities inside of public school or, K through 12, wherever they may land, where they can thrive in our society and continue to help our communities grow. Wilson County does a great job of that, but there is always opportunity for growth, especially in Wilson County, where we have some students, especially on the Zone 1 side, doing really well in school, where on the other side of Wilson County, we have large amounts of students who still struggle with even basic needs to get to school and have opportunities to learn, whether it be just learning English for the first time or being hungry, needing basic needs so that they have opportunities to learn the same as students on the west side of the county. And we really want to make extra efforts when we're talking about, as you say, finishing, a product of a student in Wilson County where all students have equal opportunities to thrive and can be successful after high school.
Well, I've asked the others nearly this kind of been in our discussion nearly every time from all the zones that we talked to so far. But there's the thing of funding where money is appropriated by the Wilson County Commission. The school board takes the money and then they make the decisions to how it's spent. And sometimes we have some controversies. One of the things that's come up has been transparency. And I wish you'd address that a little bit. Is the school board as transparent, and the director of schools as well, as transparent with the county commission as it should be? Are there ways to improve that from your opinion?
There's always room to improve, not just transparency, but also communication. One of the biggest issues I've noticed in reference to the school budget is, in nonprofit in particular, where I come from, our budgets are very similar to the school board's budget because we're not self-funded. Our budget is coming from other people, and in return, our expenses are not something we can easily control. They're fluid based on market vulnerability. And so when the community gets upset or they're not quite sure how certain things were funded, but then we couldn't fund teacher raises, we need to be very clear with the public about why that is and how we can work to improve it. With especially funding with the school board, we need to be more based around advocating at the state level for more funding. We cannot keep going to the county commissioners year after year with, running a $10 million deficit, when we can start advocating at a state level to fix a BEP formulation issue where we could have more funding. Many of the other states in the United States get much more funding at a state level. The state of Tennessee is ranked 45th on public education and in terms of per pupil expenditure. So until the states raise the bar on spending at a public education level, our county is never going to raise its bar either.
Some of our county commissioners question the amount of money that is spent operating a central office. I'm sure you are aware of some of those things. What's your opinion?
I think it is a state issue as well when we get so many mandates from the State Board of Public Education requiring us to do A, B, and C, if you will. When the state tells us we have to do those things, believe it or not, that ends up making a position out of that work. And then that in turn means another salary, another benefit package. And we need to be clear on how much it takes to run a school district of our caliber. And we have to have a central office. We have to have leadership so that we're all moving in the same direction. Just like I said before, where we have some students in one part of the county doing really well and other students struggling. If we don't have central office to navigate everyone in the same path, we're never going to bridge that gap. We're never going to bridge that divided differentiation.
Most likely in a year or so, we're going to be looking for a new director of schools if all holds true right now. I believe that Dr. Donna Wright's got about another year left here, and another person. I would like you to address sometimes people like to promote from within. Sometimes people like to go outside to hire somebody in this situation. Are you familiar enough to have an opinion one way or the other here as to whether we would promote from within or go outside for help?
I believe that if it came down to having to find another superintendent, those are very big shoes to fill. Our current superintendent is superintendent of the year, and no one else has that in the state. Those are big shoes to fill. We also want someone who is clear on the vision that is already set by the school board members along with Dr. Wright. In order to keep our vision clear, to keep our superintendent of a high caliber, we want to keep the door open to not just not local people, but people from within the school system. But we want to open that conversation up to people outside the school district. Absolutely. We want the best of the best.
Are there other issues that maybe I haven't addressed here? Any particular thing that's on your mind? We've got 2 or 3 minutes before we kind of wrap it up. Anything else that really either troubles you or is part of your platform, something you're very passionate about?
I don't know if it troubles me, but I am very passionate about wanting not just parents of students in Wilson County, but community members and leaders to understand that we're going to go back to school soon. I don't know exactly what that date is or what it will look like. And I want everyone to just have peace of mind and to feel that they can trust the process of sending their children back to school, that they will be safe, that they will thrive, and that we are all going to push through and have a great school year this year.
We haven't talked a lot about growth, but it has been that we almost couldn't build schools fast enough for all the influx. And then when we hear about what has happened in Metro Davidson County with the tax rate, we're hearing from real estate people that we may have an even greater influx. Talk about dealing with growth, and as a board member, how you're going to address these growth issues.
I think being ahead of the growth curve is always ideal. Unfortunately, we're a booming county. We were a booming county before the tornadoes hit. We were a booming county before, like you've said, the property tax increase in Davidson County. That's not going to change. It's only going to be amplified moving forward. We need to be clear on what growth looks like. We may, for an extended amount of time, have slightly more crowded classrooms. That doesn't mean that education is less impactful. That doesn't mean that the resources are not there to have a great education. But we need to be clear on how long it takes to build a school, how fast people move into our county, and we just need to be more prepared with not so much physical structures, but staffing and leadership.
As far as curriculum goes, and maybe the emphasis on sports and all of what, I think we all want to provide an opportunity for a good overall education for everybody. But I guess too, one size doesn't fit all. And anything you'd like to say is to address that sort of thing. How can we have what's needed for everybody?
The goal for public school is to provide an appropriate education for all. And just like you said, that is not one size fits all because every child is different. Every child has its own unique needs and talents and creativity. Our oldest son that just graduated was one through high school. We kind of struggled with finding him his own place, his own purpose where he felt like he belonged at his school and he was contributing to it. The high schools do a great job with giving students opportunities outside of the traditional things like sports. With the new Green Hill High School, they have the Collegiate Academy. At Lebanon High School, they have the culinary arts where you can go in. I don't know if you can anymore, but you used to be able to go in as an outside person and have lunch. Mm-hmm. And the more opportunities like that we can bring to the table are what create what you would probably say is one size fits all opportunities for all students to be successful and to feel like they belong at their school and they're contributing to the community.
Okay, Lauren, to win our last 2 minutes here, Lauren Smith is here. She's candidate for School Board Zone 1, and I'm going to give you an opportunity now to kind of summarize your candidacy and take this last minute and a half and tell us why you should be the next school board member representing Zone 1.
Yes, Wilson County has a wonderful school district. We have big challenges ahead of us this year. Some of our biggest challenges are reopening schools while keeping faculty and students safe, addressing digital inclusion, adopting physically sound budgets. And during the next 4 years, we need school board members who can lead our district and work through these challenges. And I hope that the community will learn to trust me and perceive me as being reliable and someone that can bring perspective to really complicated issues. And I hope to see everyone out voting on August 6th.
All right, let me remind you and our listeners that we'll have election returns on the evening of August the 6th, and we invite you and all the candidates to come out. And if you can't be with us, you can always give us a call. We would like to get comments from all of our people, win, lose, or draw. There'll be one winner, of course, and three that are not winners, but the campaign itself, I'm sure you agree, is quite an experience.
It has been fun. And I actually just want to say thank you to my husband. He's out there in the hallway. It's definitely a family affair of campaigning season. So he looks like he's a beaten man with his bruises and his blisters, and I just really appreciate everything he's done.
Well, thank you, Lauren, for being with us today. Lauren Smith, candidate for School Board Zone 1, and that is going to do it for this Wednesday. I hope you will join us tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Coleman & Company, and until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.